Hello and welcome to eStation, running on a base station server build. Today we will be watching Cyrus Sato as he is a head of security today. And right now we caught him in the act of checking the captain, Emma Hansen, to see if she is a changeling. And it appears that is a negative result. A changeling is a type of alien on this game that can that can absorb others' DNA and then transform into them at will, effectively stealing their identities and giving them the ability to really mess stuff up. They were just checking the CENTCOM report, Central Command, and it appears that it called her an ugly swarm, Emma Hansen. And all of a sudden Cyrus feels odd. I wonder why. I am playing the game as a meme. It's a type of mind parasite, and I can force him to do several things: fall down in agony, jump with joy. I can cause him to emote stuff, or to say things out loud, whisper them. I can take possession of him for a short time using meme points, which slowly charge back up. But for now, I'll just play it subtly. I made him sneeze earlier, and that's freaked him out a little bit. He's dropped his pen and paper, and now he is leaving the bridge of Space Station 13 to go and check out, maybe see if he has to arrest or robust somebody today. Hopefully we'll get to see some of that. It's usually very exciting on him. Oh look, somebody asleep in the hydroponics area. Let's see what their name is. Why did it zoom? It shouldn't have done that. Sorry about that, folks. I will try and learn how to fix that later. Cyrus seems to be observing the person. Looks like their name is Delta. Emma Hansen, the captain, is asking over the ear radio what's wrong with Cyrus. Cyrus shakes his head at the sleeping Delta over in hydroponics, probably spaced out on a bunch of grown space drugs, and steps into medbay where it looks like Anne Liberty is waiting for us. Excuse that. Anne Liberty waves to Cyrus. Cyrus says, Anne. He needs a checkup. I hope they don't find me. That would be pretty bad early in the game. I still haven't gotten to take over that many people, as the meme can use its points to jump to various people. Just like that, I have taken over, well, not taken over, but I have jumped into Anne Liberty's body, and I now can affect her mood, her thoughts, and if I wish, I can jump into her body again at any time as long as she is within my view. Unfortunately, when you jump into somebody and attune them to be able to jump into their body at any time, it causes their head to have a weird feeling. We have a couple of arrivals lately. Anne Liberty has looked at Cyrus's medical record. You should check that out on the eStation forums. I believe that's at estation.webs.com. That's E with a dash, station. You see, Cyrus used to be heavy-duty, robust, or boss, but he got taken down a couple of notches in previous missions, and he's had to have some augmentations such as super strength to protect himself, dermal armor to also protect himself, And he has a neural hub instead of a brain. Explains a lot, really. I made him sit down on the bed, and that made him seize up a bit, because he did not do that voluntarily. And using my power of already jumping into Anne Liberty's body, I made her think that she heard Cyrus Sato say that he does feel sleepy, so she suggests that he lies down for a while. Cyrus Sato does not know what I have said. Anne Liberty was the only one that could hear that. So Cyrus lays down, and Liberty asks, "Would you like me to close the privacy shutters?" Privacy. Good for a man. Oh, he agrees. So Anne goes over to close the privacy shutters. And of course she's concerned about the light affecting him. Oh no. Cyrus toughs that out though. And then he starts speaking into his radio about probably already trying to solve out some things that have happened over the space station while he's been amiss. And I make Anne Liberty here as the AI, in the AI's voice, artificial intelligence, that she should probably check on Emma Hansen, our captain, since I have seen her earlier. And I think that would be an effective way of just getting back in Miss Hansen's mind to make her do various things, maybe hallucinate a little bit. That's another one of my verbs, hallucination at will. Although it has a short delay. Miss Anne Liberty goes about looking at medical records, various virology, pathology type things to see if she can find a scanner that would show a probable cause for this involuntary movements, involuntary speeches. But of course she won't, because the meme is undetectable unless it exposes itself through doing actions that are not voluntary. There are several ways to beat the meme, but I think I'll only say one here, and that's death, because that's pretty much fun. I don't need you people knowing the rest of the ideas there. She's probably trying to use that computer, I believe that is the medical tracking computer, to find out where Miss Hansen is, so that she can go locate her and bring her in for a checkup, maybe. Keeping Cyrus locked back there in that room, tied down to the bed. I have no control over him while I am in another person's body. The only thing I can do that affects all bodies around are the thoughts, which I can make anybody think that they hear somebody saying something. The hallucinations, which, as I said, has a short delay before it takes effect and causes people to see dead bodies, fires, various openings of walls into space. Oh, look, it's the Chief Medical Officer's cat runtime. And that thing purrs constantly. It will not shut up. It always hisses. It goes, "Purr, pet me." And then we have the head of security, who usually likes to run in there and kill it at the beginning of the round, but it appears he has not done that today. Unfortunately for us. And Liberty, of course, is running around seeing how many drugs she can string together to possibly save the space station from this unknown force that has taken over Cyrus, like a demonic possession. Well, we have this very long movement thing with no real emotes or say action. You should come visit the eStation build on beyond.com. If you go to Space Station 13 and you scroll down the servers list, if you have Beyond installed already, it's Beyond byond.com. You scroll down through the server list of Space Station 13, you will see one that is hosted by Evan, EVAN 00107. Oh look, there's Miss Emma. And you join that one, we got really great people. We have some good admins. No, they're mostly good admins. The host is pretty good too. And Liberty has found Emma Hansen, and she's bringing her in for a checkup. Bringing her in to talk to Cyrus, maybe. Well, after they stare at each other for a little bit, I suppose. This is a heavily enforced RP game on most servers. The East Station server is pretty strict on RP role-playing. If you don't know how to role-play, you should Google that. It's role-play, R-O-L-E, and then play, in case you just aren't that intelligent. You should brush up on that, brush up on the Base Station wiki. You can Google that also to find things. And as Emma Hansen walked into the room, I jumped into her body and made myself connected with it. So now I can make her hallucinate at any time and hear thoughts. And that's why her head feels weird. Because when I connect the bodies... Oh yes, Butcher Pete. When I connect the bodies, it creates a message that says, your head feels weird. Now the story of Butcher Pete, if you haven't heard that before, oh, it's a great song. You should Google it. There's Butcher Pete Part 1, it's from a Fallout game, and Butcher Pete Part 2. They are very hilarious songs about a man that has a knife or some sort of butcher's cleaver, and he goes around chopping that meat. Hacking and whacking and smacking. And now Emma Hansen's going to follow Miss Liberty, Miss Liberty, into the room where Cyrus is still asleep. It looks like he took out the light while they were gone. That's weird. And Anne Liberty has broken the news to Cyrus that Miss Hansen is also having these symptoms. And even though as you can see, the privacy shutter is still closed, and I'm making Emma Hansen hear Butcher Pete saying things to her. And although the privacy shutter is closed, voices can still be heard through it, although nothing can be seen. I'm going to see if I can get Emma to possibly pick up the role of Butcher Pete as another personality of hers that she likes to join up with, as she usually goes and grabs a butcher cleaver and usually ends up hacking up someone before our head of security, Cyrus Sato, brigs her for about 10 to 15 minutes, which is actually probably the top sentence on there. I told Emma to go grab me my fire axe from the bridge. But she knows better. She knows the butcher's cleaver is what I really want. And now it's Miss Liberty's turn to go back to virology, maybe whip up something real quick, see if she can knock this out. And I suppose Cyrus is going to go and talk with Miss Emma. We have the captain, which is the highest authority, has access to everything. We have the chief medical officer, has access to all medical equipment. And we have the head of security. It seems I've taken over a rather good bunch of people, and there are still several more that we haven't seen yet. We have seen one earlier. His name was Milton Fraser. He was just a medical doctor. He had not much access. The CMO, the Chief Medical Officer that Miss Liberty is right here, she has more access, which is why she is also more intelligent on matters of the virology, the medical doctor, medicines. She also has access to genetics in case somebody needs to be cloned to be brought back to life. That's a great thing about this game. If you die and you were not completely torn apart by an explosion, a space ninja explosion, then you can be cloned and brought back into the game. Or there's also a respawn button that can only be used once every 30 minutes for a person. Although be warned, with cloning, there's usually a small chance a very large chance actually, that you'll come out with genetic disabilities like stuttering, blindness, Tourette's even. And it's really not that great of a thing because you usually come out with seizures. You can't hold anything. If you're blind, you can't use anything on the game. You can even come out deaf, which is very horrible in this game where information is everything. I've jumped back into Miss Hansen, and Miss Liberty's just gonna excuse herself through there to get down to virology, which is down there. We've only seen a small portion of the ship today. Miss Hansen's talking about Butcher Pete and getting him his butcher's cleaver. I bet things are about to go down here. The story of Butcher Pete. Hacking and whacking and smacking. Ah ha ha, got it right. It appears that Cyrus has heard this story since he's arrested Miss Hansen over it many times, I'm sure. I do not know why it keeps zooming in like that. Emma grins at the thought of repeating the Butcher Pete incident. And Butcher Emma. Emma goes to get Butcher Pete's cleaver, but is stopped by Cyrus Sato, it looks like. I jump back into Cyrus before Emma is able to run out the door. Emma agrees to wait instead of going on what I was hoping to be a Butcher Emma rampage. I made him say yes, and that causes him to freak out a little bit, blinking rapidly, sweating, clasping his hands over his mouth, and Liberty says over the command channel that she's not finding anything on her scanners. Cyrus begins to think he's losing his mind. And now we're going to have a long, little, just run around moment again, as Cyrus just... I have no idea what he's doing. They need to use more emotes today. But, again, check out the eStation forums, join our server. We are getting close to the end of this video. The end, I hope we get to continue this because I ran out of time recording. We should be able to continue this storyline later. I might be able to post one of these maybe once a week if I can. This is a really great game, and I think it would make a really great movie, but for now we're just going to be doing some YouTube post videos about the game. Do some RP storyline, maybe, sort of stuff. Looks like Cyrus is trying to steal some drugs from the meta vend right there. Probably injecting himself with them and putting him right in the disposal chute. Silly little druggie. As the head of security, Cyrus has access to a lot of stuff. Mostly weapons. Right about now, I think I have... Yes, I probably do have the 3 most deadly people attuned to my will. The head of security with his access to weaponry, the captain with his access to the nuclear activation, her access to the nuclear activation disk, which could be used to blow up the entire station with a nuclear device that is hidden on the station, and the chief medical officer, who can create various disabilities, put them in a syringe, and then shoot somebody with that syringe, which automatically injects them, giving them blindness, deafness, very lethal things. Even what's it called? Chloral hydrate. We have carpotoxin. We have just straight up ethanol, which gets you very drunk. Yes, there is a bar on this game. Jake Green, our earlier chief engineer, says there are specs carp outside. Cyrus Seto says, what? Jake Green corrects himself, saying spec carp, which are a type of carp which produce the carpotoxin I was talking about earlier. They live out in space naturally, since they are spec carp. Cyrus being sarcastic there. And the Singularity engine, they seem to be in the area where the Singularity would have to be set up. The Singularity engine is a very dangerous thing, which, if it eats anything, it could destroy the station by causing the Singularity to eat the station itself, tearing holes in it and everything. And so this is the end of our video. Cyrus Seto, our head of security, embarks on an eradication mission of space carp. We'll be back later. Thanks.